Okay, hello everybody again. Today's tutorial is going to be simple functions. Now, if you remember in the first tutorial I told you that whatever type you put at the beginning, a type is this right here, your int. That's a type of integers. So if you put that in front of a function, you're telling the function that you're going to return an int. But today we're going to keep it simple, so I'm going to show you the really basics of functions. So last time I talked to you about the pound include IO stream and the using namespace, std, semicolon, int main, all that. That's a really basic program. It's a program that does nothing. So, to continue with function tutorial, today we're going to start with a void, something called a void. And a void basically is a function that returns nothing. So we're going to make a function called text. And what text does, it's going to show something onto the screen, but it's going to be called into the main function, or from the main function I should say. And since we're not taking any parameters, a parameter is something, anything that goes inside a function in between parentheses is a parameter. So if I was to put int number, that right there is a parameter. Okay, but we're not passing anything in right now since we're trying to keep it really simple. So we're going to do void text semicolon, and this right here is your function prototype. You always have to declare a function prototype up top before anything in your main function. It's kind of like when you declare variables, sort of like if I were to do int num1 equals 0. Okay, it's basically the same thing, and I'll get to declaring variables in a bit. So void text. Now what void text is going to do is display some text, like I said earlier. Now, the way you define your function, everything always goes after your main function. You could make your function definitions before your main function, but everything has to be in order. So, for example, if I have a function that calculates two numbers, my answer, the one that adds the two numbers, will have to be after the function that get the user to input the numbers. So we're going to do everything after the main function, and we're going to define the function by doing void text, close parentheses, and we're not going to do a semicolon because we're going to continue defining it. So let's do the curly and the open curly brace and close curly brace, the basics of a function definition. And we're going to do cout. This is coming from the void text function. Alright. And we're going to close that with a semicolon. Alright. So now the way I'm going to call the function is really easy. All you have to do is type text, close curly brace, or close parentheses, excuse me, and then semicolon. And we're going to build to make sure everything's okay. And so far everything looks like it's good. Still compiling. Okay, it's blinking. Alright, so everything seems to be good. Zero errors and 0 warnings, as you can see down here. Alright, so now we're going to run the program, make sure everything's working the way I want it to. As you can see here, we have everything that I wanted. This is coming from the void text function. Press enter key to continue. I didn't put a backslash enter or anything, so press enter key to continue showing afterwards. But who cares? So it's working. The void text function is working pretty good. Now I'm going to show you the other basics quickly of declaring variables. Now basically, when you declare a variable, you need something called a type, which I told you already, such as an int, meaning it's an integer you're declaring. And you could do num1 or num equals 1. And basically what a variable is a variable is kind of like it's a word that holds a value. So in this case num equals 1, so that means that if I were to put cout num, then it would always display 1. In the next tutorial I'm going to show you how you could make the user enter numbers such as integers or doubles. But that's how you declare integer variable. Now I'm going to continue that in next tutorial. So thanks for watching the simple function tutorial, and stay tuned. I'm going to post more.